At the edge of the Giza Plateau stands a creature of stone with the body of a lion and the head of a man. It's one of the most famous monuments in the world, the Great Sphinx. But behind its cracked surface lies a riddle that has baffled historians, archaeologists, and adventurers for centuries. Because the truth is, the Sphinx hides far more than you think. The Great Sphinx of Giza, a timeless icon of ancient Egypt. The face of a pharaoh, the body of a lion, guarding the pyramids for millennia. Mainstream Egyptology presents a clear, straightforward story. It was carved around 2500 BC by the pharaoh Khafre, whose pyramid looms directly behind it. The evidence seems solid, the causeway, the stylistic similarities. For most, the case is closed. But what if that neat and tidy story is wrong? What if the Sphinx is hiding a secret in plain sight, a secret written into its very stone? A small but persistent group of geologists and independent researchers are challenging the established timeline, suggesting the Sphinx is far, far older than we've been told. Not by a few centuries, but by thousands of years. Their core argument isn't found in ancient texts, but in the patterns of weathering on the Sphinx's body and the walls of its enclosure. Look closely. The erosion here is distinct. It's not the sharp horizontal pitting you'd expect from millennia of wind and sand. Instead, we see deep vertical fissures and rounded, undulating profiles. This is classic precipitation-based weathering, the kind caused by immense amounts of rainfall running down the stone over vast periods of time. But heavy rain in the middle of the Sahara? It sounds impossible until you look back into the deep past. The Giza Plateau hasn't always been an arid desert. During a period known as the African Humid Period, from roughly 11,000 to 5,000 years ago, the Sahara was a vibrant savanna covered in grasslands and experiencing significant annual rainfall. For the Sphinx to bear these water-carved scars, it would have had to exist during that long-lost rainy era. This single piece of geological evidence throws everything into question. If the Sphinx was carved before 5000 BC, predating Khafre by millennia, it would rewrite the opening chapters of human history. It would mean a sophisticated, monumental culture existed long before the pharaohs, a civilization we know nothing about. The Sphinx would not just be an Egyptian monument, but the oldest monument on Earth. And its true creator, a complete and profound mystery. Let's talk about the face. Today, the Sphinx looks weathered, broken, and of course, noseless. Millennia of sun and sand have scoured away its features, leaving a ghost of its former glory. The royal cobra, or uraeus, that once adorned its brow is gone. Fragments of its ceremonial beard, a symbol of pharaonic power, now sit in the British Museum. But it's the missing nose that has captured the world's imagination, sparking one of history's most persistent myths. Here's the twist you've probably heard. Napoleon's troops, during their Egyptian campaign in 1798, used the Sphinx for target practice and shot off its nose with a cannonball. It's a dramatic story, but it's completely false. We know this thanks to detailed sketches made by European travelers long before Napoleon ever set foot in Egypt. The Danish naval captain Frederick Louis Norden published his drawings in 1737, over 60 years earlier, and they clearly depict the Sphinx already missing its nose. So who destroyed it and why? Historical accounts from the 15th century, written by the Arab historian al-Makrizi, point to a very specific act of iconoclasm in the year 1378. He names a Sufi cleric, Muhammad Sa'im al-Dar, as the culprit. Apparently, al-Dar was enraged to find local peasants making offerings to the Sphinx, praying to it for a bountiful harvest. Seeing this as an unforgivable act of idolatry, he took it upon himself to deface the pagan idol, chiseling off the nose. The story goes that he was later lynched by the furious locals who depended on those very traditions. But the mystery of the face goes far deeper than just a missing nose. The conventional view holds that the face is a portrait of the 4th dynasty pharaoh Khafre, yet some geologists and independent researchers have pointed out a glaring anomaly. The head is strikingly small and disproportionate to the massive lion's body. This has fueled a tantalizing theory. What if the Sphinx is far older and its head was recarved? Perhaps it was originally a true lion, or even the jackal-headed god Anubis guarding the necropolis. A later pharaoh, like Khafra, could have ordered the original head to be reshaped in his own likeness, a powerful act of political and religious appropriation, stamping his identity onto a monument of immense antiquity. If so, the original face is lost to us forever, its true identity altered in the distant past. Now, about that beard, yes, the Sphinx once had one. Pieces of a stone beard are scattered across museums in Cairo and London. The beard wasn't just decoration, it symbolized kingship. So the real question is, was the beard broken off naturally or deliberately removed to strip the statue of its royal power? Ancient legends tell of secret rooms beneath the Sphinx, the so-called Hall of Records, a library of lost knowledge from a forgotten civilization. Sounds like Indiana Jones, right? Well, modern scans have actually revealed cavities beneath the statue. Whether they're natural cracks, tombs, or something else entirely, we don't yet know. Egypt's government has been cautious about excavating them, which of course only fuels more speculation. The Sphinx doesn't just stare into the desert. It faces directly east, aligned with the rising sun. Some say its positioning connects it with the constellation Leo, the lion, around 10,500 BC. Was it built as a cosmic timekeeper, a guardian of the heavens, or even a message from a forgotten era? The Sphinx we see today is a silent monolith, an icon frozen in time. But here's a secret buried deeper than the desert sands. Its identity has never been fixed. The Sphinx hasn't always been seen the same way. Its meaning has shifted as dramatically as the dunes that surround it. During the New Kingdom, nearly 1,000 years after its creation, it was not a mere statue, but a living god. It was worshipped as Horem Akhet, Horus in the horizon, a powerful manifestation of the sun god. The most famous testament to this is the dream stela, placed between its paws by Pharaoh Thutmose IV. As a young prince, Thutmose fell asleep in the Sphinx's shadow and dreamt. The great statue spoke to him, promising him the throne of Egypt if he would only clear away the suffocating sand that had buried it. Thutmose honored the deal and he became pharaoh. The Sphinx was a kingmaker, an oracle whose favor was sought with temples and grand processions. But empires fall, and gods are forgotten. When the Greeks and Romans arrived, they brought their own myths. They saw not Horem Akhet, but a reflection of their own Sphinx, the cunning, riddle-posing creature of Thebes. The Giza monument, transformed into a mysterious guardian of esoteric knowledge. Roman emperors came not to worship, but to wonder. They were the world's first tourists, gazing at the Sphinx as a relic of a bygone age, a symbol of profound antiquity. Centuries later, medieval Arab scholars gave it a new name, Abu al-Hol, the father of terror. Local legends spoke of it as a fearsome talisman, its gaze holding the power to protect the Nile Valley. Then came Napoleon's armies, and with them European scholars who measured and sketched the Sphinx, launching a wave of Egyptomania. It became a romantic icon, a puzzle for the new age of science. From god to guardian, from terror to tourist attraction, the Sphinx has been a mirror, reflecting the beliefs and ambitions of each era. Its meaning is ever-changing, yet its silent, imposing presence remains. It has never lost its profound aura of power. For centuries, the Sphinx was buried up to its shoulders in sand. Only its head peeked out. Entire generations lived without knowing its full form. It wasn't until the 1800s that excavations revealed the lion's body once more. Imagine uncovering that colossal form after it had been hidden for millennia. It must have felt like resurrecting a sleeping giant. So what is the Sphinx really hiding? A lost civilization? Ancient secrets buried beneath the sands? Or simply the story of human imagination pushing the limits of stone? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. The Great Sphinx of Giza isn't just a monument, it's a riddle carved in limestone, a riddle that refuses to give up all its secrets. So the next time you see the Sphinx, remember, you're not just looking at a statue. You're looking at one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. What do you think it's really hiding? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more ancient secrets.